Welcome to Cunty Life and Biz Realness, the uncensored show that explores how to live your truest life, what tries to get in the way, and how to grow your business as a result. I know you want to be more courageous, unapologetic, notable, transcendent, and authentically you, and you're in the right place, babe. I'm your host who's the most, Naomi, CEO and head life and biz authenticity coach at Cunty Coaching. Let's dive in. One of the most cunty things we can do in this world full of oppressive systems is to ask for what we want and for what we deserve and for what we need. Now, this is meant to be hard. That's how the systems are set up. They're set up so that we feel unable to ask for what we want, or that something bad is going to happen if we do, or that we'll have some consequence for speaking up or using our voice or disappointing someone. It's no coincidence. This is how it is meant to be because, like, no surprise here, it keeps us small, silent, hidden, complacent, compliant, all of those things that keep us from accessing our highest power, our highest success, our highest wealth, all of these things, our highest opportunity, right? Meanwhile, the dominant group is always praised and celebrated and encouraged to make the ask, you know? It's so interesting to me to observe this as I continue to work with many entrepreneurs from historically excluded and marginalized communities, as well as observing my own self. It's really disheartening to see how little people will make the ask. When something isn't sitting right, or a boundary is being crossed, or their needs aren't being met, or someone might be like taking advantage of them, or there's an opportunity that they want, but they're going to have to put themselves out there and ask for it, a lot of folks will not do it. And as a coach, this hurts my heart because so much opportunity and possibility and magic is on the other side of the ask. We have to make asks. We have to put our intentions out there. We have to put our desires into words and into questions. And yes, they're not always going to pan out. But if we don't try, then they will stay hidden. They will stay silent. They will remain in our hearts and in our heads, living rent-free and making no income for us, okay? So one person that comes to mind that really taught me this principle of ask and you shall receive is my mom. My mother is so good at asking for things. I don't know exactly how she does it or how she strengthened this muscle, but she is so persistent and she will not give up and she will ask for what she needs and for what she wants all the time. And that has really rubbed off on me, maybe not to the same extent, but it definitely has influenced how I move in the world, how I operate, and how I embrace the cunty art of asking for what I need and for what I want. And this has actually led me to many different opportunities, different experiences, all because I gathered the courage, I embraced the unapologetic, I stepped into the notable, I transcended the limitations that were trying to hold me back, and I tapped into what I authentically wanted and made the ask. Now, it doesn't always pan out, right? That's not how it works. But there's a 0% chance of success if we don't even try. It really does make me sad when I see other entrepreneurs not making the asks because so many of us are used to doing things for free or being taken advantage of, et cetera, right? There's so many things that we do to devalue ourselves. And then we believe that we're not worthy or we're not deserving or we are acting out if we make the ask, or we're being annoying, or we're being disrespectful. Like there are so many stories that exist that are in place to keep us from accessing more for ourselves. And so this is an incredibly important part of embracing the cunty energy in your life, is to start practicing the art of asking, right? Start practicing the art of allowing yourself to want something else. A lot of times we just tell ourselves, just be grateful for what you have. Don't ask for more. Don't be ungrateful. Don't be materialistic or high maintenance. There's so many things. I could literally go on and on. Reasons that we tell ourselves to not even want anything. And we attach negative connotations to those things as well, right? To just further justify why we shouldn't want the thing. So the first step is to actually practice wanting and to sit with and get through any discomfort that arises, any mind gremlins or limiting beliefs or stories, mind trash that comes up when you practice the art of wanting. And when you start really infusing yourself with the cunty belief of your worth and your value, and believing that everything you do, all of your time, all of your effort is valuable. Okay? So once you really practice that, the art of wanting and the art of valuing yourself, your time, your efforts, then it's time to practice the art of asking. And just be aware that you might get pushback for it. People aren't used to, people who are of the marginalized group, asking for things. And it often will get a lot of pushback and a lot of like, no, get back in your oppressed place. You're not the dominant group. You're not the privileged group. So just be aware of that and just know that these are systemic issues that aren't going to be dismantled in a day, but don't let it stop you. Okay? That's just one ask. You get back up and try again tomorrow in a different way with a different person in a different scenario. Just don't let yourself be defeated. Don't let yourself build up this evidence and this story that you never get what you want. That's like one of the hardest things for us to do to ourselves. One of the worst things is to get into that victim mindset. We need to believe fundamentally that we are powerful and we are worthy and we are deserving and we can make the ask, that we do have agency, that we do have power in our lives. So if you make an ask and it doesn't pan out, use it as learning and get curious. Like, what was the situation? What were you asking for? What factors and systems might be at play that are working against you? And how might you be able to go about it differently next time or use the learnings in some other way in a different situation? So that's what I would say when it doesn't go your way. And when it does, please don't forget to take note of that too, because you need to gather evidence of all the times where you asked for something and it did pan out, because those are going to keep you going and keep you growing. There will be times when you think, I can't ask for this. Who am I to ask for this? I think of speaking gigs, for example. A lot of us from historically excluded and marginalized communities, we historically have not been invited to speak on stages, right? There's been a very privileged group that have been speakers. And so when coming to these situations, when someone is looking to hire us for speaking gigs, we might accept the first price that's offered, or we might accept no price. We might really allow the other person to dictate how we get treated. And that's when a lot of troubles come for us, right? When we feel disempowered because we're letting other people determine our fate. And so in the speaking industry, we're getting better at negotiating and asking for what we want. But it all starts with people who are willing to step into their cunty truth and to make an ask and to negotiate and to believe in their value and make that ask, right? Even if it results in that speaking gig not panning out, it will pan out. There will be people who want to make you feel supported and valued, and they will hear you out when you're negotiating or making an ask. And I hate to break it to you, but by not making the ask, you're actually upholding those systems and making it harder for our advancement as communities to ask for what we want and get what we deserve. Because if there's not a lot of us doing that, then the ones who do, it's like the nail that sticks out gets the hammer. So the more you hold back from making those asks, it's not just you that suffers. I hate to say it, but it's also the collective, right? It keeps the collective down. So if nothing else, we not only have to make the ask for ourselves, but for our sisters and friends who are going to make the ask alongside us or right after us. For example, if there's a promotion available and one person asks for the promotion and the other one says, no, I'll take on a little bit of extra work. I don't need to go for the full promotion. Who do you think the company will choose? If they can make the choice, they'll probably go for the person who will take it on without asking for the full promotion, right? So keep this in mind. Next time you want to make an ask, just think, who else wants this? Who else wants to make this ask and needs the collective to stand behind them and to make this ask with them, right? Because we are more powerful when we work together. So this is really important for us. I really want to highlight that this is such a crucial part of Cunty living. And this is the first step, right? Because you will get to a place of unapologeticness that like you don't have to make any asks. You just tell it. You just tell it like it is. And you don't even need to be making asks because you're not in any situations where you need to ask for things that you need, right? You get to make your own needs be met. But until that time, and I don't know if that time will ever come, because I always think we can ask for more and expect more for ourselves and get out there more. But anywho, this topic for today is about asking, making the ask for what you deserve, what you want, and what you need. And another episode, we will talk about getting even more cunty and just declaring what you need and what you want, right? Because a lot of us still get stuck in the trap of asking, and then when we meet resistance, we cower, right? We go back, we recoil because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to make an ask, and making an ask can feel super vulnerable. So a lot of us will make an ask, and then when it doesn't go well or there's resistance, we back down right away, right? Because there's that fear, there's that innate fear that our livelihood, our sense of belonging, or anything else, that there will be some consequences. There will be some backlash. There will be some actual problems that come from us asking for things. So we back down really soon, really quickly, really easily. We doubt ourselves. We gaslight ourselves. We say, oh my gosh, should I even have made this ask? This is ridiculous. Like, I should not have even gone there. But I don't want you to fall into that. I want you to believe that if you have a desire or you feel like you deserve something and you feel like there is an ask that can be made, trust that and believe that you are worthy of whatever it is. And if it doesn't pan out this time, learn from it, get really curious about it, dig into it, see what might be working in the background, right? What systems might be set up that are working against you in this scenario. And then get back up tomorrow and make another ask tomorrow. Being an entrepreneur involves making a lot of asks. So the more you can get familiar and comfortable with the discomfort of making asks, the more you will fucking soar. And I truly believe that. You have so much more power than you even know. And I can't wait to see you continue to grow more and more and more into your cunty truth and make these asks like a badass and have things work out, right? And I want to hear about it. So if you have experience of making an ask, whether it worked out or not, please reach out to me. You have my Instagram handle. You can DM me. You can reach out to me and share your story. I would love to highlight you or even just hear your story and celebrate you for learning from it or growing from it or just going through it, right? Because you're putting yourself in the arena by even making that ask. So I'm so damn proud of you. I am so grateful for you being here and for listening to my soapbox this morning or whatever time it is for you. And I can't wait to talk to you next week. Love you. Thank you so much for listening to Cunty Life and Biz Realness today. Someone in your circle needs to hear this. Can you share it and leave a review on Apple Podcasts so this cunty movement can grow? And don't forget to tag me on Instagram at Naomi_authentically. I appreciate you so much and cannot wait to connect with you. You can always head over to cuntycoaching.com to work with me, join my events, my Cunty email chronicles, and more. I hope you have a fulfilling week, and I can't wait to talk to you next week. This is your Cunty coach, Naomi, signing off.